Okay, hello. Um, so we're almost done here. Just one more example that I'm going to do of to kind of show you a little bit different situation that can come up. And there is a homework problem on this. Is what happens when you don't have just 0 over here? What do you do in that case? Okay. So in the case where you don't have a 0 over here, okay, we still are just going to be looking for where are these two things equal, and then also are there any places where this is undefined, right? So that I can find my boundary points of where this inequality could change from being true and not true. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to ask myself where I do have a fraction here. I'm going to ask myself, is there anything that can go wrong? First of all, well, there is something that can go wrong. You cannot get 0 in the denominator, right? That will cause a problem if you get 0 in the denominator. So where do you get 0 in the denominator? X plus 4 equals 0 at x equals -4, okay? So at x equals -4, this function is doing weird stuff. It doesn't make sense there. So that's a point that I need to keep in mind as checking before we get, like as one of our boundary points before we go too much further. The other points where this could be interesting, or at least be changing whether this is true or not, is where these two things are equal to each other, right? So when x minus 1 over x plus 4, when this equals 2. Okay, and so I'm going to set those two equal to each other and then solve for x to figure out the other places where this inequality could change from working to not working or vice versa. Okay, so how do I solve this? Well, this is a rational equation, one that we dealt with from chapter 6. So I'm going to just times this through by the common denominator of x plus 4 through the whole thing, okay, to clear out that denominator, because I don't like fractions. I don't know about you. So I'm going to times this through by x plus 4 through the whole thing. When I do that, the x plus 4's cancel here. So I just get x minus 1 is equal to 2, and there's nothing to cancel out with the x plus 4 over there. So that's going to stay over there. Okay. So now I just solve for x. This is a linear equation, shouldn't be too hard. I'm just going to distribute in my 2. So I get 2x plus 8 there. I'm going to get all my x's to the same side. So maybe I'll start by adding 1 to both sides here. And I get x is equal to 2x plus 9. And then I'll subtract the 2x from both sides to get rid of that 2x over there. So I get negative x is equal to 9. So then I'm just going to times by a negative through on both sides to get x is -9. Okay. So that's our other point. So we got x equals -4 and x equals -9 are places where this thing can change between working and not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my number line, just like we've always been doing. -4 is higher, so I'm going to put that up there. -9 is lower, I'm going to put that down there. And then I just plug in points like we did before to see which values are going to work in here, what parts of the number line are going to work. So let's maybe try out here to the left of -10 or of -9. I'll put in -10. Okay, so I'm going to get -10 minus 1 over -10 plus 4, and I'm wondering, is that greater than or equal to 2? Okay. Well, let's see. We've got -11 divided by -6. Is that greater than 2? Well, you could throw that in the calculator. It is positive, but it's not bigger than 2 because 12 is 6 times 2. So you'd need this to be at least 12 in order for this to work. So that's not going to work over there. Okay. Let's look at another place that we can plug in something to see if this is going to work. So in between -9 and -4, I don't know, I'll do -5. I'll plug that in. So I get -5 minus 1 over -5 plus 4. This is going to be -6 on top divided by -1, which is 6. And I'm wondering, is that bigger than 2? Well, yes, it is. So it is going to work in that middle part. Okay, so it does work in here. That's going to be fine. Okay. Now let's try one more point. We've still got to check this area over here. So I'm going to plug in, I don't know, something bigger than -4, maybe 0, because that seems pretty nice. 0 minus 1 over 0 plus 4. We get -1 over 4. And that is a negative number, so that is not greater than 2, right? So it's not going to work over there. So the only place it works is in between -9 and -4. Okay, and in our case, right, where it's strictly greater than 2, it equals 2 at -9, so it's not going to work there, because if there was an equal to down here, this would be filled in, but there's not. Okay, and then where this thing is just undefined, it's never going to work there. So both of those are not included in the solution. So our answer in interval notation is -9 to -4, and that's our answer. Okay, so we were able to find the solutions of this inequality where we didn't have a 0 over here. So it's basically a similar process. It's just solving it is a little more cumbersome than the other ones. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Good luck on the homework.